Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. Gotta do it big, that's the only way to live. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. I gotta do it big. Gotta do it big. That's the only way to live. Come on. Yeah, come on.
This is fun. Listening on? No? Good? Glad we did this tech run. Hi, welcome to the Comedy Arcade. Guests of the show and secret guests that have come to the closed recording that turns out to not be very closed at all. We haven't even got the doors closed at the back. But, okay, I can say this with confidence now because the last time I did this every night at Edinburgh and every night I was disappointed. Who here has listened to the Comedy Arcade before? Woo! See, where were you? Where were you at Fringe? For the people who have tuned in at home, who may have had a little knock on the head and have devotedly listened to all 63 episodes but have forgotten the rules, I will refresh them for you. But first, I'm going to introduce some guests. I'm very excited to have them here. We're going to start with, he was on the first ever episode of Comedy Arcade. He is the best dressed man in comedy. We know him as the Dandy Man. It is Tom Tuck! Pick a stool, any stool, Tom.
Hello, hello, hello.
I missed the opportunity to sit down gracefully, so now I think I'm going to stand for the whole thing.
Okay.
So,
well, maybe we'll all stand.
Oh. This is why it's nice to do the live ones that aren't just audio, because he's doing this all the time. You just can't see him. How's your day been, Tom?
I don't know the result of Palace Leeds, but I'm imagining I've had a bad day.
Oh, no, nobody tell him. I feel like Sakisa's looking at him.
I mean, we're 2-1 down as we speak, I believe, but I've put my phone onto airplane mode and I'm turning myself into comedy mode.
It's all about the professionalism, isn't it? All right, should we get another guest on, Tom?
No.
No?
Let's
Just
just
me?
you and I chat for an hour.
All right, yeah, I've got a whole ball full of categories. You've done most of them. Yeah. Tom Tuck has basically completed this to the point we've had to put new categories in. Oh, it's like Panto. I love you guys. You're so well trained. And we've got like comedians in the secret audience as well. We've got Sakisa in, everybody. I would say just out of shot, but I don't know what the shot is. Maybe you're in shot. Maybe it's all about you. Maybe it's just the back of your head. They saw me flamingoing on this chair and they were like, let's put some real glamour on. Right, we're going to have another guest. It is the magnificent North American queen, Leslie Ewing Burgess. Where are you going to sit?
I'm going to have a lean here.
Come on then.
Sitting is for pussies.
This is going so well. How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been pretty lazy up till this point.
Okay, good. How's this?
I could use this microphone on it. Yeah, I forgot. I was too excited to lean.
We did this 26 times at Fringe and we've learnt nothing.
I only did it a few times, to be fair.
But you were there for quite
I was there a lot.
You're very supportive.
So Sometimes
right.
I text it.
Right, this is less of a show, more of a support group at this point. And we've got an international football star that has come all the way from Stroud. Ooh. Who could it be? Rooney's like, that's not me. No, it's the other guest that was listed. It's Paul Watson, all the way from Stroud. He made it out. We're not giving him back.
Thank you.
We do a podcast
I'm
together,
seeing that.
and I've been accused of bullying you, so I'm going to treat you real nice in front of all
Just
these
for the
cameras.
record, she absolutely doesn't bully me.
Treating
Please
him
don't ask any more
real
questions.
nice.
I've got to say, you won't see this on any picture, but the temperature in here,
It is
just
really
for us to be podcasting in these conditions, I think people don't realise the level of endurance that takes.
We've been training for this, haven't we?
This is our Qatar right in here, right now. Like,
It's
How many people died building this?
is that a category on here? Or?
I mean, it is quite a big pub we're in.
questionably, a questionable event. Not unlike Qatar. We've got one more guest to introduce. He is a Comedy Arcade virgin. Ooh. I know, but we're going to break him in nice and gently. It is Rooney Tower. I like how everybody does the little run as they're coming in.
I'll join you.
Yeah.
So we've made our decision. We're going to be sitting.
Okay, good. I like that for you.
I'm going to sneak a sit in at some point.
No, you
but-
can't.
No, I'm going to.
You've drawn the
You're
battle
not,
lines.
You're not going to notice, but I will. Suddenly I'll
I'll
be
call
sitting.
it out.
I think. Oh, Tom, I thought you were going to maintain the position throughout.
No,
You
just
went other
switching
way.
legs. I'm bending on both sides.
I've lost control of this already.
Sorry, that's my fault. Hi, Vix.
I enjoyed everybody running just slightly down at the pace of someone who's crossing the road and you want the cars to know that you're trying. That's the gait that we all...
We just wanted you to know we were trying.
You are trying. Look at
On
you.
your
Look at
patience.
Tom.
Yes, I am very trying.
And, I don't want to objectify you, but you... we hate to see you go, Tom, but we love to watch you leave. Do you work out?
Sums? All the time. I bloody love maths.
Sexy maths.
What's your favourite maths?
Good question. It's probably non-Euclidean geometry.
Oh, yeah. Not a big fan of Euclidean geometry.
Is it
Well,
hot in
it's a
here, or
bit
is it
boring,
just
innit?
me? No, it's just really hot in here. Right. So the game goes. I've got a bingo ball full of topics. I'm going to draw them at random. I'm not very good at this ball. It's quite tricky. It needs oiling. I will draw a ball. For example, this ball is ball number 34. I will check my list of categories. I will tell the guests the categories. Stop looking. Thanks. And they will jump in with an anecdote, story, song, dance, crouch. Oh. I will allocate scores arbitrarily based on the thing that I find the most entertaining. Tom is doing very well. We haven't even started the game and he's already about 10 points in.
In. Oh, that's the wrong preposition. I wanted to be 10 points up.
What are they in?
He's 10 points between.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what yeah.
What a pedant I am.
Yeah, I forgot. I was going to say that and I was like, is that unkind? But you just
I
filled
didn't
in
want
the
to say
back
it's
part.
pedant. It's pedant. It's pedant. I wouldn't have brought it up if you
I
hadn't
set
brought
them up.
it up. And I barely knocked them down, yes.
Right, let's start the game. Otherwise, we'll never get to it. Okay, the ball is my favourite, petty grievances. Who's got one? Oh.
So I'm early doors going to acknowledge the fact that I work in a coffee shop as my day job because depressingly it comes up often because it is what I do most of the time. So in my coffee shop we've had... I'm Canadian, by the way, just to explain what this is.
I don't think that fully explains what this is.
We all look like this. Have you not been?
Oh, dear.
Canadian with extra spice. And so I don't know. I don't have any issue with Americans per se, but in the cafe I work in, there's a lot of American students around, and there's a speech pattern that Americans have developed since I've been local to them, which is that they like to really go, and there's a lot of vocal fry involved in this. All these American students who'll come in and be like, "Can I do an iced oat latte?" and it's always do, and I hate nothing more in the world than that. I'm like, sure, I make the coffee, so I'm like, sure, come around, help yourself. Like, the thing I want most in the world is to make a massive banner that says, you did it, and then once their order has been completed, unfurl it.
Mike Pettigrew, you've just reminded me of one of, and again, it's Americans. We've already had Qatar mentioned, and Qatar is the next example.
World Cup?
Host of the FIFA World Cup.
Why,
really easy two-word phrase.
Tom, why do you think I would know that?
Because Canada have qualified for the first time in fucking forever!
I'm not there!
Anyway.
Since 1980.
It's the World Cup.
I'll fill in the details.
Listen, we wouldn't have corrected you if you hadn't made a point about saying you're a pedant. So
It's a bit pedantic.
So...
I don't
America.
understand how this team has formed here. Like, you're
whatever it is, we're a team for life.
Yeah,
I know. You're an individual players. It's never happened before. It's never happened before. All right, Tom. Sorry, it wasn't about you for a second.
Wow. That felt like my mother saying my full name.
I know
Thomas.
I know your full name. I remember.
All right, for a point, tell us all.
Thomas David Tuck.
Yes, correct.
Oh, lovely.
What's my birth name? Huh, okay.
Thomas David Tuck.
1-0 to me. No, 1-0. Owen.
Oh.
Spelled the traditional way or a strange way?
Yeah, just traditional.
Okay, I have a friend
there's
who's...
There's no need to get into this, is there?
I don't know. Just thinking about my friend whose name is spelled Eogan.
Welsh rather than Irish. Owen. Americans somehow managed to mispronounce a two-word phrase, World Cup. They somehow stressed the first word. World Cup. What? Why? Why are you stressing the modifier and not the object? World Cup. You're trying to win the cup. Not the world. I mean, they are Americans. World Cup. Stop it. Stop it. But they do it with all sorts of things. Cream cheese. No! It is cheese that is creamier than other cheese. It's cream cheese. Sweet potato. Stop it. Stop it.
Tom's having a breakdown.
Well, I think I've got... It's a wild theory, but I've got a theory. In the Americans are trying to get a little bit of emphasis in before one of them is shot. Friendly fire.
Oh, God. Okay,
Hong
good.
Kong. Stop it! I mean, that's not a modifier and an object, but they still do. Hong Kong!
It's the hongiest of all Kongs.
It's the hongiest of all the Kongs, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like
King Kong! Not as hongy as Hong Kong.
yeah.
I want to know what the two have in common.
It's the Kong family.
A father? Mr. Kong.
Please, Mr. Kong was my father. Call me Hong.
Okay.
This is great. I want to do this podcast again. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, what are your petty grievances on this side?
Well, firstly,
You can
I think
submit two, even though you're
it's
a
an
team.
unfair question because all my grievances are not petty. They're
Okay.
completely justified.
Lovely.
I just want to say that up front.
Strong stuff.
I will say probably the most irrational. I don't know why, but I do have it. I just hate anyone that owns a BMW. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. I have never seen a BMW owner drive normally. I don't know what it is, and maybe this is me being, anti-rich. That's fine. I don't care if you got a Ferrari.
That's a controversial
that's
take.
fine. No.
Sorry about this, I just hate rich people.
Sorry, we
Sorry.
are
Out of here.
But I've just never seen I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like to buy a BMW, you have to prove that you don't know how to drive. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that owning a BMW just makes them think that the rules don't apply to them anymore. Could be. Or it's just, you know, I don't know. Maybe is it a German thing? I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's good if it's not a German thing.
No. We can edit that part out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know.
It's
I'm
live.
sure you don't feel the same about Volkswagen.
No, hey.
And that's the most, like,
Isn't that the one?
classic German car.
Wasn't that the company that started off making tanks?
Yeah.
The Nazis? I got no problem with
Nazis.
Volkswagen. I got no problem with Volkswagen.
It's a strong pivot there.
Hugo
Yeah,
Boss
yeah.
and Panther.
I'm glad I said that after the whole tanks for the Nazis thing, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if that counts as petty or not. I just don't trust them.
You know, we covered a lot of ground there, didn't we? Went from petty to, like, you know, war. It's like quite an escalation.
Yeah, I feel I'm back down. Yeah. See, I was sitting here thinking I've got something that's going to bug everyone. Now I'm thinking I'm not so sure.
Come on,
about
table
this.
it. Let's have
What
it.
I hate, and it is the thing I hate most in the world, yeah, and I'm not proud of this, is in TV shows and films where people pretend to drink from cups. I'm getting some nods, which, honestly, it does me good to see that because I've spent my life trying to fight this urge. But whenever someone on TV show has a cup in their hand, they are doing bad cup acting. There is so little. I have seen, in my time, I've watched some amazing performances on screens, and I've been moved and touched, but the level of cup work that I've seen, someone can be there telling a traumatic story from their childhood and, you know, tears flowing down my cheeks, but they're waving their coffee cup around as if it's a maraca. How am I then going to buy into the trauma that you're putting on screen? Oh no, I didn't expect questions. Can we do it?
Sakisa.
I would like to see you justify your own.
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
Wait. Before Paul does this, I will say it's not as easy as it looks because I had to do it once for a TV ad, for a Nescafe ad in Australia.
And I bet you did it well.
I didn't. Because the way they do, so they don't give you a cup of coffee, they give you an empty cup with a top layer where it's like plastic, about 90% of the way up, it's like a plastic film, and then they pour a little bit of coffee on top. And that's it.
But you see, this is useful to me.
Yes.
So my beef is not with you, the actor. I have no problem. I want us to get to the bottom of this issue.
Yeah.
I
You can add this to the show reel, yeah.
You, in many ways, are the victim of this.
I agree.
I am not going to be here.
Of all comedy, in many ways, I'm the victim, yeah.
Exactly. So my question to you is, why is there not a consultant on set who is filling your cup up with enough liquid that you could do the performance you deserve to do? That's what I'm saying to you.
You know what? I should have asked. I should have brought it up.
No, don't you start thinking that you're in the wrong here.
No, you're right.
So I did an advert once where I had to eat a lot of cold chips. And I had to look happy. And I really wasn't.
Yeah, but you were eating the chips, right? They were going into your mouth.
They
into
were
your
going
digestive
into,
system.
they were going into my mouth.
So I have no problem with you.
Well, I mean, technically it was an ident.
It's the
I
weirdest
don't know if you
humble
watched-
brag off
Did you,
ever.
did you have to act like the chips were hot?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? Yeah.
That was flawless.
I believed you were eating chips.
Oh, I can't believe this. Hot chips. And one time I had to like throw one in the air.
And catch it with your mouth.
Catch one in the mouth.
And it was supposed to be hot.
And it was supposed to
in
be
the
hot.
script.
Like,
Wow.
bloody hell.
What was this an
what
advert
a job.
for? No one's eating chips like that.
McCain's wedges.
If I saw
That's
a
a
friend,
fair guess. If I had to guess which company was making you do cold chips and then throwing them in the air.
And
McCain's
every single person in that advert is a comedian. And the only person who has a child is Sarah Kendall. So the only person who is allowed to have done that. The rest of us just came up slightly before Edinburgh.
I feel like if I was hanging out with a friend and they chucked a chip in the air and caught it in their mouth, I would not hang out with them anymore.
What is this Avengers ad of like comedians doing wedges for McCain's? Who else is in this ad?
I'm not going to shame all of them. Because I have done that in public before. I made every single one of them come to an ACMS and stand on stage and pretend to eat chips.
When is the next ACMS for people who want this quality of entertainment again?
Probably early November. We haven't yet booked it.
There we go. Alternative Comedy Memorial Society, everybody. It's very good if you're London-based.
Hashtag ACMS. And we are not successful enough to own that hashtag. There's a Malaysian restaurant, the alternative, the American Country Music Awards, and at least one other person who is like much more present on our own hashtag.
So is that enough cup work ranting from you? Or?
Yeah, I've cooled down a bit now. I'll be honest, I'm feeling that shame that comes on after you've had a bit of an episode. So yeah, if you move on now, I think.
Just wake up, you're like, oh no, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty agreeable. I have no big issues with it.
Just cups.
Sorry, everyone.
Paul has reminded me of another petty grievance I have.
Go on then.
So, also in
Let's
films.
see if we can do one category in an hour.
Also in films, you know when there's a scene where it's Christmas and there's presents there, but you don't see them open any of the presents, it just makes me really upset every time. Like, I don't know what fulfillment I think I would get from seeing what they got, but I want to know so badly. I really do.
Also, they're always in like boxes, right?
Yes.
They're never like amorphous shapes. Like
Yes.
they're always in like a square cube box
Exactly.
with a bow. Like I don't
Who
know.
has that sort of box budget?
Is it not like that in Canada? I just thought it was a North American thing. Maybe it's a US thing.
I mean, not in shopping malls when there's a pretend Christmas tree with pretend presents. They're definitely boxes.
Of
It's
course.
not like that one socks. You know. It's
Yeah.
like, but yeah.
I hate to say it, but these might be pretend presents. From the context you've given them in, if they're on a TV show.
But what I want, I think, from the writers
Truther.
is for them to put in the effort to figure out what the presents would be and then wrap those things and have them be unwrapped for me to see.
Yeah.
It would be a waste of time for everyone else, but oh my, I think my life would be better.
And do you think the actors have thought about what their characters would have bought for their children?
I hope so.
What's my motivation here? Yeah.
Because I went.
Yeah, I'm going to buy them a clay elephant. They won't like it.
I love that clay elephant was at the forefront of your brain.
I have no idea why that was at the forefront of my
I love it.
Clay elephant.
You're a thespian first. You try and find the process.
Tom, when's your birthday again?
March.
No,
Clay elephants for.
clay elephants for everyone.
Right, okay, should we move on? Let's move on. I choose to be here. Right, it's ball number 29, and it is jobs. Bad jobs, good jobs, interviews. It's a deliberately broad category. I've learnt my lesson from being too specific every day at Edinburgh. So, jobs. Any stories about jobs?
I feel like I've told this at another one of these live shows.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys weren't there. So it's only,
We don't get a lot of repeat listens, so
it's
you're all right.
only Vix who will be bored, and maybe Reese.
I'll do some pretend
drinking So I, for a very brief time, again, I've done a lot of coffee work. This previous coffee job was at a coffee stand in the food hall of one of the major department stores here in London. And it was awful. I was there for about 2 months, and then I left because I was only working like a couple days a week, really short shifts, but I was like, I can't stand this. Like, everything about it was awful. But when I got hired, I was like, what's the dress code? And they're like, wear what you want. And so I wore, like, sort of the sort of clothes I wear, but like, sort of like I wasn't wearing a t-shirt and jeans or anything. Like, I would wear like a nice jumper and like whatever, but like a lot of bright colors. And I turned up, and after a couple of days, they were like, actually, it's all black. You're not allowed to wear color anymore. Like, they changed the dress
Whatever
code
you want,
because
but
of
not
me.
that.
Oh, it turns out you are the reason why people have dress codes. So that was one thing, and then it just like I was working in this little coffee stand, and basically it was the whole thing is if you had to take a break, you had to go all the way down to the basement of the shop to have your break, and I was there alone in this tiny space. All of this, there were a lot of shit reasons why it's shit. The main reason why it was shit is that I think this department store is a cult, because at the beginning of the morning, every opening shift I did, there in the 10 minutes before I opened, there would be 3 songs that would play. Always the same 3 songs. It would always be Summer Loving from Grease, Single Ladies by Beyonce, and that song that's like, No, You're Never Gonna Get Me. Those 3 songs.
What year was this?
This was probably like 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Too late for
Right,
those
Single
songs.
Ladies.
Yeah.
Single Ladies was a classic by then, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It wasn't contemporary
Summer
Single
Nights.
Ladies.
It was
Long gone.
classic instantly.
Sorry, Tom, you're absolutely right. When you're right, you're right. I'm sorry.
I mean, we can blame it on the video, but we all got on that train early.
I was tempted to do the
I
dance.
don't know what I
just
was
there.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah, this bit was the one I was going to do. We all have different But yeah, so these same 10 minutes.
Paul, just nothing from you.
I've heard of it.
Beyonce, is it?
I'm aware of the concept of this thing you're discussing right here, yeah.
So there'd be people working there who'd clearly been working there for about 15 years, like people like sort of lifers in this big department store. I'm doing really well at not saying the name. It will slip out at some point.
Was Mohammed Al Fayed there?
No, actually. But yeah, these 3 songs would play every single day, and the people who'd been there forever, every single day would be like, yeah! And they'd get so excited and like dance around to them, and I was like, I hate every minute of this. I must leave.
So glad you got out.
Yeah, it was harrowing.
How did you leave?
Just
Didn't come back.
Well, they just went,
Danced
sorry.
out of there.
I think, luckily, I had a holiday I had booked and they didn't give me the time off, and I was like, well, actually, then I'm going to have to give my notice because I was going back to Canada for a month. Anyway, so I had a legitimate reason to leave, but also I needed to not be there.
Well, you're safe now. Doing this, which is much better. Thomas?
I might have told this story already, but since you've said the
Yeah,
story.
only Vince will be bored.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I was...
The one who gives us points.
Just after school, I got a job that was only paid commission, being a door-to-door charity mugger.
Oh, no.
And there would teach us like
See, look how good I am. I have heard this story.
I would teach us sales techniques, and we'd have to go to like Todmorden
That's not a real place.
No.
and Mythenroyd.
Nope.
They're both in the
That's
Calder.
a cream. That's a cream.
They're both in the Calder River Valley. Both of them are very weird places, full of hippies. I saw the smallest cat I've ever seen sitting on the head of the biggest dog I'd ever seen. They didn't sign up to any of the charities, the people who own that. Anyway, it was
What, the cat and
worst
the dog?
job in
Or the...
They didn't own the house, no.
right.
I don't. I believe... the
Are your
person
parents
who
at home?
I believe the person who answered the door owned the house.
Presumptuous.
It was just soul destroyed, knocking on doors and saying, "What do you want to give me? Hold that because they say that possession is 90% of the sale." No, I shouldn't say that aloud. Do you want to give money to like kids or something? And it was just soul destroying. It was awful, and I quit. But I wouldn't have quit if we hadn't invented a new version of Monopoly. So, what you need, right, is you need a London Monopoly, and then you need any other regional version of Monopoly.
Stroud.
Is there a Stroud Monopoly?
Are there enough places
No,
for there
I
to
mean,
be a
it's
Stroud Monopoly?
barely a Stroud.
And what you place the goes next to each other.
Springfield, that could work, right? The Simpsons
Yeah.
Monopoly. Would that work?
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
fine. That's fine. But basically, you can do a Star Wars if you want, but
Nah,
flavour-wise, it's a bit.
And also, you get those monopolies that just some of the squares are just characters, and you're like, this is not those. It's meant to be places.
Yeah, it should be a place.
Yeah.
You do it with
Let's
snakes
be
and
curious
ladders?
about it, but yeah,
You can't do it with snakes and ladders, and
Okay.
you'll hear why.
Okay, cool. I don't know what the parameters are here.
Yeah. Okay. So you place the two balls next to each other, the goes next to each other, and you start on the regional one. I'm presuming you've got a British regional monopoly for this example. And you go around playing normal Monopoly. Then, when you have, and this is due to rigorous playtesting, you have one set, or there are fewer properties available to buy than there are players in the game, the next time you go past go, you can choose to go to London.
the big city.
Prices and rents are doubled. It takes about 14 hours. And I quit so we could finish the game.
Did you win?
No,
Well, you weren't doing that job anymore,
but,
so
I,
you
but I
did
had
win.
fun. I had fun.
Were you any good at sales?
Reasonably good.
At the door-to-door. Like, oh, just let me in for a minute. Show me your broadband. Oh, sorry, that's porn.
So did you Sorry, did you develop this like double city monopoly like independently from your work or during work? Like, sorry,
Independently from work,
You
and then
developed
we
this.
were in the middle of a game, and I was supposed to leave to go to a shift, and I rang up and said, "Go, fuck yourself."
you went to London. you went go to London.
Mate, I've just gone to London.
See, I think what I'm trying to get my head around is
I'm not going to Tottenham.
so you are someone who has played Monopoly and looked at it and gone, you know the problem with this game? It's too quick. Just to get that straight.
Not enough loops.
Honestly,
I still have games
please,
ongoing from childhood.
There's another version that we haven't play tested enough, but you need a glass coffee table. So you have two versions of Monopoly. It can be the same version of Monopoly, but you have two pieces, one on each. So there's one above, one below.
You've just been new balls remotely by somebody who's watching on Insta. and I'll allow it.
See, I want to contest it because I kind of need the job interview one for my own sort of therapy.
Yeah, but Tom can't finish his story, I think. We'll draw a line into the Monopoly.
I'm just going to say, it's called Mathiopoly.
I think it became abundantly clear he wasn't going to finish his story one way or another.
So, Kevin, that was for you. See, we want the people at home to feel like they're part of it, and unfortunately that does include new balls in. Kevin, that was also for you.
I'm just going to do them all.
A punter has just cost the world Mafiopoly. That's what's happened. We almost got a brilliant game out of this.
Well, why would you want to give those secrets away, Tom? Someone could be making that now. Maybe Kevin's making it now. Maybe that's why he doesn't want you to.
Maybe that's it. He wants you to stop now. He could take it from here.
Tweet in, Kevin. I'm watching. Paul, you've got a story for this? You seem excited.
I'm not. Basically, it's timely, right? So it's the 12-year anniversary of my worst job interview, and I made a note of this.
I love it. This is, I knew that when we scheduled this.
You knew that when we scheduled it, and every year I revisit what happened just to see if it's become less cringeworthy, and it has not yet. But
Let's
I
find
feel
out
like
together.
discussing it in a public forum might help.
Okay.
So I went for a job as a personal trainer. This is 12 years ago.
Sorry,
so that's not
Rooney's
funny, but it wasn't.
Rooney's there for you. He's ready to support.
Although you
And-
started with you went for a job as a personal trainer, so it's
12 years ago.
tough for me to support you.
I've moved on. So this is 12 years, and it wasn't just an interview. It's the worst of all human things. It was a job open day, a day of being graded on various things to see if you're good enough to get the job, basically. And so about halfway through, we got split into little groups. We got split into groups of 3 and sent away with a little sheet of tasks, and we had to come back and present to the group, which is, one of the standard
A really
torture
shitty
methods.
taskmaster.
Oh yeah, and they were.
When nobody wins.
It was the worst. So the 3 of us, it's me, Stuart, and Lauren. But you don't need to know that. No disrespect. I'm not invested in.
But
you,
Lauren made it as well.
Yeah, no. So the 3 of us are a group.
She's somewhere telling this story.
I'm not sure.
A support group.
So the 3 of us get sent away, and we all get sent to, groups of 3 get sent to different rooms to prepare, and we're going to go back and present to the group. So we spent, as you would, about 25 minutes or half an hour just bitching about everyone else in the group, about the whole day, about how miserable we were. Knocked off these 4 first tasks were basically just, Google what this company thinks its values are and put them on a sheet. So we were like, yeah, we'll knock that off. Look at the 5th task, and it just says, in your group, prepare a short play for the rest. And so we look at each other and go, fuck, we left this to last. What the hell do we do? But luckily, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I kind of threw myself into this. I took the charge of it, and I started to draft a little script. Ideas started to flow. And we produced something that, if I had to compare it, I'd say it's like a sort of thing you get on BBC 4, like a Scandi noir. So it begins with me dead on the floor. And Lauren and Stuart have just killed me, and their relationship begins to unravel as the guilt seeps into them. Now, it's only 3 minutes long, but I feel we got a lot across in that time, and we were really proud of this thing.
Cut work was
So
exceptional.
when we went back in, there were no cuts inside.
You wrote a script where your part was, I am dead.
We played to our strengths, that's all I can say.
This is for a job fair, I just want to clarify.
Well, yes. So we got back into the room, they start calling on people. We are the first people called upon. I think, well, let's get it done. We put up these bullshit slogans for the first 4 questions. Yeah, everyone's very happy with us, pat on the back. Say, right, so it's time for your performance, as it were. I naturally lie on the floor, flat, and I can't tell you how proud I was of those two. Like, it's that feeling of being a director. I could feel it. You know, it was good. My face was down. So the final bit where Stuart turns to Lauren and goes, "Can't you see we're the monsters now?" And I'm just like, God, my heart is beating. I'm like, oh my God, they've nailed this. But there's a silence in the room, complete pin drop silence. There's no sort of clapping, and I'm thinking, well, are they waiting for me to stand up? Because obviously I am a part of this. So I stood up, complete silence. So there were no bows. The instructor, who's running the day, looks sort of shell-shocked. Takes the piece of paper we've been given, and it immediately becomes clear to him, we've had a line cut off the bottom of our photocopy. The question was, prepare a play in which you've received good customer service. So Oz was the best play, in my opinion, but we did not get jobs.
You could rationalise it, right? To try and work backwards, to be like...
There wasn't a lot of time for
terrible.
that.
You have killed yourself on stage, yeah.
Stuart did terrible service there. He was dead.
Yeah, it's true. No, there was a lot that we probably shouldn't have put into it, knowing it was a job interview situation. But I think we just got quite swept up in it.
So did at no point when you were writing this Scandi drama that you said,
yeah.
at no point you were like, what does this have to do with getting people jobs?
The problem was we'd become a little bit of a sort of. We'd become pretty bitter about the job day. And as I say, none of us got a job. I mean, actually, I lie. Stuart's on Hollyoaks now. But apart from that, we really didn't get those jobs. He's not actually. No,
But he played a dead body. He took
What
your
a
role.
journey that would have been for Stuart.
Yeah,
I really
but,
want to believe...
7 years later, I did get a message from Stuart, out of the blue, on Facebook. I didn't even know his surname. Got a message saying, do you remember that thing we did? And that was all it was. And I was like, God. And I was like, oh, the job interview.
It's the start of a Scandi
And he's now
noir drama.
the great thing, he's now a very successful personal trainer. So he did actually move on. He charges £hundreds an hour.
I'm sure he'd give you a discount if you threatened to expose him, as you've done here.
There you go.
Say to him, can't you see, Stuart?
Sorry?
We're the monsters now.
Yeah, right. We're the monsters now. I love that line.
I thought it was going to be like a play to then be like, we're the monster now, become a banker, or something like that. You know, I thought that's what the thrust of it was before I heard the...
My character was loosely based on the person who's running the open day session.
You said that up top, didn't you? Right before you died.
It was very heavily implicit.
You had his name tag on, didn't you?
Rooney, jobs?
Yeah, I've had so many bad jobs. Loads of like you said, coffee jobs. I've done loads of one night only washing dishes for a restaurant that didn't call me back jobs. Which now when I think about it, just feels like I was manipulated very easily.
Oh no, trial shit.
So when I first left high school, I moved to Australia. I grew up in New Zealand. I moved to Australia for university, and I was in a new country. So I was trying to find work, find places, and I swear, 1 week I went to
the same country though, aren't they? Really?
Hey, listen, that's what I like to say. No, so literally for 5 days in a row, I went to 5 different coffee shops and just washed dishes for 4 hours, being like, oh, this is a trial spot. It took me that week to be like, all right, maybe don't just agree to the first trial spot that someone's like, yeah, you come wash dishes for us. Because I realized when I looked back at no point was I like, and this will mean you'll give me more shifts after or anything, won't you? They would just
Look
be like,
how good I am at washing dishes.
Do you want to come back wash dishes? And I'd be like, if I prove myself here, if I wash them real good. So that's on me, yeah. You thought he was the tragic one. No, it's me.
Hey, I don't think anyone thought that.
Well, they don't now. So yeah, plenty of bad jobs. The weirdest one though was, so I worked at this survey software company where they would do survey software, and it's a global company, but its head office is in Utah. So when I joined the company, they sent me for 3 weeks to train in Utah. I don't know if anyone's been to Utah before. Have you heard of Utah? It's okay, Americans are weird.
Tweeting.
It's weird. It's a weird state even for Americans. Do you know what I mean? So not only is it a teetotal state, it's also a coffee total state. They don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
And so Tom's familiar.
Yeah, they're not allowed anything.
They really aren't. So I was at this office just firstly, I was asking, is there anything I can get a cup of coffee? And they were looking at me like I'd just been like, do you want to do a line? You know what I mean? And they were like, no. And I'm like, well, firstly, now I definitely can't ask about the line. Like, that's definitely. But it was just a weird, I don't know. If you've ever been to like a like I've been to teetotal states because there's parts in India where there's no alcohol or whatever. And as an Australian, it's tough to be in because you had to like go out of state, even just to the border, to even just get like a bottle of beer or anything. It was a very, very weird, very weird. So I guess the moral of that story is Americans are weird. Cool, we all agree.
Been saying.
Well, it's Mormons are weird.
Yes.
Personally, they're bloody lovely.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never met a Mormon I didn't like.
Oh, they were the nicest people. Let me say that
they,
up
they
front.
are genuinely, like, compared to, like, you know, Seventh-day Adventists or, like, any other...
Those lunatics, yeah.
Yeah, the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Like, Mormons,
Oh,
genuinely, like...
Bloody lovely.
They're so nice.
And it makes it worse. It makes it because if they were out and out weird, I'd be like, oh, they're the weirdos. Then it makes you feel like, am I the weirdo for wanting coffee? You know, they're lovely people, and they're looking at me like I'm the lunatic. Am I a lunatic?
They are genuinely amazingly lovely people.
That's heartwarming.
I don't think you believe that, Vix.
No, I just feel we have to stop it while it's still heartwarming and not conversion.
Yeah, I thought I'd move it on. Do any other faith groups you'd like to compare to the Mormons?
Yeah,
No.
the plumbing seats couldn't get under the bus.
The opinions of the panels aren't endorsed by Comedy Arcade. Right, weird DMs. Anyone sent them? Anyone received one? Hello?
So, I don't have many people who I don't know who are intense to board me online, but, you know, I've got a few. Not to brag. There's this one person, I don't know how they found me. I think it was like over lockdown doing online gigs or something, because as far as I can tell, they're based in Australia. So hello if you're watching.
We're about to say real nice things about you.
It's just so they would reply to a lot of things that I'd post on my Instagram stories and stuff, and that was fine until it reached a point where I was like, oh, they were replying to everything, and I'm not engaging, and they're replying to everything. And then at one point they said, I wish I had you as a best friend so I could go to the hairdressers with you.
They skipped a step there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something in between that.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to go?
Yeah, I mean, that really, it would really cut down the time I got to spend with Matt.
It's just...
Shout out at Matt's Gents Salon on Instagram.
And now you get a free cut.
I doubt it, but sometimes he'll play the clarinet to me.
In the middle of a haircut?
Is this a real hairdresser's or a house you wandered into that agreed to cut your hair?
My hairdresser has quit hairdressing, so I might see if they can manage this. Just love a little bit of
And if
music.
they can't, you get a lovely clarinet. Yeah.
I'll steal it. Be like, you fucked up my hair. This is
Depends
mine
what your
now.
priorities are, really, isn't it?
But yeah, like as I said, like I have a best friend, and to be fair, I did go to the hairdresser with her once, but that's I think because we were just hanging out, and she decided to get a haircut midway through, and it was quite boring to be there. So
You do feel quite awkward, don't you? When you're like the third person, just like, yeah, you're nailing that.
Yeah.
Like, do you encourage the hairstylist? Yeah, like you're pulling like scared faces to freak out your friend. Like,
Had she planned to get a haircut at one point hanging out with you? She's like, I'm just going to cut my hair now.
Well, so she went to a hair salon in a shopping mall. So I don't think it was the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she just was like, well, while we're here. But yeah, like that's not, you know, in all this times, I just remembered earlier today that happened, to be honest. Like, it's not, when I think of times with my best friends, I'm not like all our times at the salon, you know? So it's just, you know, it's...
you had a
Salon days.
I've just remembered something else about Matt the other day. Well, so there's a bus stop right outside the shop, and I wasn't going to get my hair cut. I was going to get a bus. So I was at the bus stop, and he came out and he said, "Do you want a beer?" 11 in the morning. I was like, "No, but really, thank you." From the bottom of my heart, I've lived here for 8 years, and I've got my hair cut here for 8 years. Thank you so much for thinking I might want a beer at 11 a.m.
You made that
Can I ask
decision
a
about
genuine
you.
question? Because I went to a guy for 8 years. Do you know his name?
Matt.
Oh, his name is Matt, and it's
Met.
called Met.
Met.
Mehmet.
Gotcha. Met's, and he is Met.
So it's Met's Gents Hair Salon.
Ah, okay.
He is Mehmet.
'Cause I went to a guy for 8
Met's.
years and I didn't know his name.
Yeah.
And still don't.
I don't know any of the other guys in there.
Yeah. And you only know his name because it's on the
It's on the
sign.
fucking door, yeah. It's on the fucking
That's what I'm trying to get at, is you can have
And he
an
plays
8-year
the clarinet,
relationship with
and
someone.
he's got an Instagram account, so none of the other guys have gone to that effort. Sometimes, if I'm after weight, he takes the ukulele down off the wall and lets me play it.
Oh my god.
Do you know your hairdresser's name, Dix?
No, because I'm banned from most hairdressers in London because I'm very fussy.
I feel like that's the best story here, right?
I once got a refund on a blow dry because I didn't like it. It's like, it's literally hot air. I'm not paying for this. Yeah. And then when I left the salon, it dropped and it was really nice, and I felt bad. So I can't go back to that one out of embarrassment, not because of consumer justice.
Not until you get a haircut.
No, once a man did the ombre bleaching of my hair, which meant to be a beautiful blend from blonde to dark, but his technique was to put a hospital kidney tray full of bleach behind my head and just dip my hair in it. And then he was like, ta-da! And I was like, oh no, this isn't done. And he was like, what do you mean it isn't done? And then he started crying. And he was going through some things. So he offered to fix it, and I didn't want that, but I'm a polite person. And I ended up trying to find him a bottle of sherry in high summer, because that was the only thing that he drank by way of apology, because I didn't like his shonky job. So, yeah. I've got loads of stories like this, but it's not about me. It's about you.
Feeling like it probably should have been about you now.
What is the category now? Is it haircuts? No, DMs.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had like a weird DM, but I've had scammer DMs.
All right.
I once had a guy who basically, this was at a time where I was trying to sell my car, and he basically like sent me this like really official looking page being like, oh, you're not, your insurance is thing, or you can't sell it while doing this or that. And basically it was official looking, but I knew it was fake because he used WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, and no government like agency is ever going to use WhatsApp to message people. I'm just off the bat. They're not going to use it. But that wasn't funny. So I like realized it was a scam. So I like responded to him like, "This is a scam. I'm going to report you or whatever." And then I was like, at least try and make it realistic. Like at least try and get away with it or put some effort in. And he just came back with, "How, bro?" And I'm like,
to learn.
yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna help you now. Like, I mean, if I had to, I wouldn't say I would, but if I had to, I would try and maybe use just text, use SMS.
Caught him
use
at a low
WhatsApp.
ebb. He was like, how? I'm trying my best.
But it was a genuine moment when I was like, oh, he's being honest. He doesn't know.
But imagine if you taught him so well, he then did fool you later on.
That would be, oh man.
Just a moment of human connection, though, across the scam there. It's beautiful.
It was nice.
Weirdly beautiful.
It almost made me forget he was trying to like take thousands of pounds from me.
I quite often get DMs on Instagram now from companies who want me to advertise their jewellery.
Yeah.
You should take all of them up on it and just wear all the jewelry.
That's the main first question.
I mean, I just block them all. It
See, you're
seems
getting that.
nonsense.
I got a ball shaving company. I got the ball shaving that one. Yeah.
Oh, do you not advertise for Manscaped already?
No. It's like, what was... I was like, you can send it to me if you want,
Manscaped,
but...
please give me money.
I think if you just say Manscaped 3 times, they send you a check.
Yeah, they
any
appear in
public
the mirror
platform.
behind you.
I'm just picturing the cold chip advert, but for manscaping.
Don't do that. That's harrowing.
Can you do like pretending it's a hot razor?
Cold razor in actual fact.
Oh, we could be a sketch group. Paul could be our director.
And
A
dead body.
Does not have a good
said
director.
I'd never
or
direct
history.
again.
Maybe we're the monsters now.
See, people are quoting my work to me. This is the level yeah.
I think I know the name of the episode.
We're the monsters now. Have you ever had any weird DMs?
Well,
have you sent any?
not very...
It's a safe
no,
space.
Well, hey, come on, careful. No, actually, mine aren't
I have a
very...
role for you.
Mine are not that interesting, but because the nature of my work is I travel to really remote places, like places no one goes to, I still get these messages.
Mentally, psychologically.
Yeah,
And Stroud.
but I still get these
Stroud.
messages that come in, the really lethargic sort of like sex messages that come in on like DM and your other folder. And the ones for me, because obviously there must be some sort of geo-filtery thing. They say like, girls are waiting for you in Luxembourg tonight. Or like, hot girls in
You're
the
gonna wait for a
unrecognised
long
Republic
time,
of
like,
Transnistria. And I'm like, hell, even if I was in the market, it's just a long way and a lot of red tape, isn't it? I mean,
Pretty sure there's someone more local.
it's hard to
though.
even get a visa, so I mean, it takes a lot of the edge off when you need to.
It's not like I'm not willing to go. It's just it's a difficult flight to book. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah, gonna meet you halfway. Right, I thought that's the end of the game. I know. Shocking. We got through 3 categories. That's not bad.
We learned a lot about each other.
You
So
have
much.
learned a lot about each other. Right, so if people at home want to see more of this, where will they find you? Tom Tuck, what are you doing at the moment?
Mainly self-tapes. But I'm at Turleygod across the internet, which is a quote from
For
King Lear.
OnlyFans or?
Yes, onlyfans.com/Turleygod will take you to me, but I've never put anything up there.
Everyone
Sort of a
has
catch-all nabbit.
Everyone
in
has
case
a
anyone
price.
else is going to do some sort of King Lear themed striptease.
Hey, listen, if there's a niche, it exists. You're servicing it.
Hot razor manscaping by Turleygod.
Manscaped.
It's very compelling, isn't it? Leslie?
On Instagram and Twitter, I'm at Rainbow Ziggy. On Facebook, Facebook.com/boobsleep, which references a very old joke of mine I don't do anymore. I also co-run an alternative comedy night here in London called Troy Club. It's the second Friday of every month at Aces and Eights. Please come.
Amazing. Yeah. And we will. Not this week because I'm busy, but the next week.
Day after my birthday.
I might.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Please do.
You come. Paul, what are we doing with our lives?
What do we do? I'm the co-host of the False Economy podcast with Vix, who does not bully me.
One more time, we'll believe it.
And on Twitter, at Paul_T_Watson, mostly tweeting about obscure football. But if you do know of any hot girls in unrecognised republics across the world, please do send them, because I love those messages.
I'm sure you'll watch those
I'm sure
too.
there's some Uzbek babes.
It's nice to know what's out there, isn't it?
Hey, listen, if you don't look, you don't know. So you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, RuniToony, RUNITONI. I've also got a website, which I made with Squarespace. Sorry, I'm just getting all the
Squarespace, call
sponsors
us.
in. I'm off it in the pharmacy looking for Manscaped products. What's some other ones?
Full shaver, call us.
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram,
Mattresses,
Twitter.
probably.
And I'm around the traps doing stand-up, so yeah, follow me. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, Tom, you are the winner. Points rewarded for technique, for stance, for material. It was all going on there.
Great, and I didn't even tell the DM story about Grace Dent, so we'll save that for another day.
We've got time.
Nah, he's already got the win. He
I
doesn't
knew it was a mistake telling him that he won. So thank you all for watching at home. Shout out to Arlo and Hare and Murray Lines, who've all been in the chat, and Kevin, who's, I think, in Canada now, so I don't know what time it is, but well done for staying away.
Kevin, we're in Canada. How am I going to find out?
Tweet in like literally the next 30 seconds. This has been an absolute joy to be part of Cheerful Earful Podcast Festival. There are a couple of shows left today, so watch those after hours. Are we counting down? We're counting down for Kevin to tell us where he's from. Okay, that was a little bit distracting there, Tom. I was doing an earnest thank you to
I don't
camera
think
for the
he
people that had
deserves
it.
to win anymore.
No, do you know what? No, you have
Kevin, I'm from Ottawa.
Yeah, so this is, I've lost control of this. right at the wire. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, there are 60-odd episodes of the Comedy Arcade to listen to, including a lot of these people. We'll have you back because you've been bloody marvellous. So let's have a round of applause for our brilliant guests. Thank you to Next Up for making comedy accessible to everybody. We love what they do. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and we will see you again soon. I've been Vix Layton. This has been Arcade.